Hey everybody, it's Traci from Downward Dog Rising, and I'm going to give you a little Pilates yoga flow tonight. So whatever erupts out of my mind and heart happens in the moment, and that's what our workout will be. And it's really hot because I'm never home and my windows are shut all day, so it goes up to like 95, and then it's really hot to cool off. So I'm doing the best I can. The fan's going, so if I stop short, it's because it's just too hot for me. I can't take it. So I don't have AC here. So I've never lived in my life without AC. So once I moved to Cali, things changed. So it's just the way it is. All right, we're going to start. Let's begin. Let's sit on our mat. I'm going to give you a little modified rollback where you take your hands under your thighs. You stretch your breastbone to sky, you take a deep inhale, and then you exhale as you float back. If this is too much on your low back, you're not going to do spinal flexion. When your hip bones, when you roll behind your sits bones, that's spinal flexion. Not all spines like that. So if your spine hurts when you do that, do this straight back hinge and just modify. If you have osteoporosis, you would just go like sit tall. If you have herniated disc, just do this tiny little roll back. Use your core to support your back. 4. So you would keep going that way. If you're not worried about osteoporosis or herniated disc, maybe you would stretch your arms overhead. You would lengthen your fingertips away from your toes, and you'd have to feel like the oppositional lengthening. The ribs stretch out of your hip bones, fingers reach away from your toes, your heels, the back of your thighs press against the mat. You pull into your center, you lift up, you stretch over your thighs, and then you lift up tall through top of head, and then you roll your tailbone under your body. You put the brakes on through those hip flexors, you stretch the arms back, and then you exhale, and then you reach up and over your thighs again. Keep going with your modification. If you're doing this modified, if you're doing a roll back, you would just really scoop your core tight to your backbone. Inhale, exhale, reach up, 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 over those thighs. Stack it up. Lengthen head away from tailbone. Your abdominal wall scoops to your spine. Inhale, exhale. You have to really pull from front to back body. Ribs out of hips. Spine stretches long. Head away from tailbone. 2 more. You would inhale and then you would exhale. Put the brakes on. Really lift ribs out of hips. Last one. Peel back. 1 more time. Inhale, exhale. Reach up, up, up. Out of your center. Stack it up tall. Okay, next exercise. Sit tall. Flex your feet, reach up, hip hinge, hip hinge, hip hinge, stretch over your thighs, lift up your breastbone, stretch over the front of your thighs. So your ribs never touch your hip bones. Stretch up out of your center, little caterpillar, forward fold, Paschimottanasana. We're just stretching, elongating our spine, get those hamstrings to lengthen, get your low back to open apart. And inhale, exhale. Maybe you're sitting on a yoga block to ease the tension in your back or your hip flexors. And inhale, exhale, reach. Feel space open up, your low back pulls apart. And inhale, exhale, reach. Two more deep inhales here, ribs out of hips. Pull your breastbone through the arms. And inhale, exhale. And 1 more time, we're going to inhale, exhale. Slowly, you're going to come up real tall, sit tall. Now, what I'd like for you to do is bend the knees in, reach your arms forward, peel down vertebra by vertebra. All right. Next, place your arms by your sides, open shoulders and chest. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. And I want you to bridge hips up. I want you to feel your tailbone stretch far away from your center. Chest is wide open. And then bring your hips straight to the mat. Feel the hip hinge. Elevate your heart. Tailbone lengthens away from you. Lower back down. So it's a straight lift up, straight lengthening away from your center. Bring your pelvis straight back down. 6 more. Push into all 4 corners of your feet. Feel your glutes engage. Lower back to mat. 5. Your abdominal wall is lifting into your spine. 4 more. Exhale. Chest is open. And down. 3 more. Exhale. Chest is open. Abdominals draw inward. 2 more. Chest is open. Straight back to mat. Last one. Chest is open. Straight down to mat. Create length between rib cage, hip bones. Modification for hundreds. If you have osteoporosis or herniated disc, I don't want you to do hundreds. Instead, take your hands, clasp your fingers together. Now make sure your abdominal wall pulls into the length of the spine and lengthen and lift under the front of the ribs. Float your head up and come in and exhale. And come in and exhale, scoop in. Okay, stay there. Do that instead of hundreds. Hundreds, chest is open. Pull your shoulder blades to the back of your pelvis. You nod your chin. Your chest is wide open. Now you're going to float your knees up and you're going to pump the arms. Inhale and then exhale. Inhale. Chest is open. Inhale and then exhale. 20. Inhale and then exhale. 30. Maybe you'll take your legs into a little V. Inhale. Chest is open. Exhale. Ribs knit together. Exhale. 40. Maybe you'll lower the legs. Keep your mat back on mat. Inhale. Exhale. 50. Scoop in tight. Inhale. Exhale. 60. And then you're going to inhale. Back is on the mat. Exhale. 70. Use your core. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. 70. Use your core. Inhale for 5. Your back is still on the mat. Exhale. 80. Inhale for 5. Scoop in tight. 90. Reach collarbones wide. Inhale. Exhale. 3, 4, and 100. Hug knees in. Relax your spine. Rock side to side. Maybe reach under the knees. Make sure your low back is okay with rocking side to side. Okay, I want to get you into your obliques, the sides of your waistline, to make sure you can feel your obliques activate. Fold one knee to tabletop. Take opposite palm. Press against your thigh. Thigh resists palm. Palm resists thigh. 5. Relax. 4. See if you feel your waist working, side of waistline. 3. Press into the thigh. Feel this side over here. 2 more. Press against the side. And last one. Press, resist, release. Switch. Your hips are straight. They're stable. Palm against inner thigh. Push, push, push. And then release. Push. See if you feel your ribs wrapping around side of waistline. Release. 3 more. Push. Hips to sky. Release. 2 more. Push, push, push. Release. Last set. Inhale. Exhale. Push against that thigh. And gently release. Awesome. Okay. Your 2 hip bones face the sky. Maybe you'll take your hands to the sides of your hips so your back doesn't lift off the mat. Okay. Modified. Do a pendulum. Side. Center. Now keep tailbone down. Feel space open between ribcage, hip bone, side and center. This space opens between your ribcage and your hip bone. Side, inhale, center. This is modified. Do it this way if you have herniated disc or osteoporosis. Keep your tailbone on the mat. And now if you want to make it a little more difficult, you're going to go into a modified corkscrew. You're going to circle around, come up to the other side. I'm not going to have you do a roll up with this today. You're just going to circle, feel the sides of the waist, lengthening. Feel your obliques activating. Inhale, exhale. Notice how I'm not letting my low back lift off the mat. You inhale, and then you exhale. You come back center. And then you inhale, feel sides of waist, chest is open. Exhale, center. 4. Inhale. You can only go as low as where your back stays on mat. 3. Scoop your core tight. 2 more, and inhale, exhale, reach. I'll give you the next modification in a moment. Last one, you're going to inhale, exhale, come back to the center, hug knees in, just gently rock side to side. Awesome. As long as you don't have hardware in your spine, pulling your spine together, like with osteoporosis, as long as you don't have like a Harrington rod or something in your back, this is okay. Articulating your spine, this will be your next modification. So then what you do, you're going to have your shoulders, your hips, your knees, your ankles, everything is aligned. Tilt your hip bones back, hip bones roll back to navel. You scoop your abdominal wall deeply to your spine. Feel the front of your hips open. Heel up little by little. Knees pull together so you don't let them splay out. Chest is wide open. Soften through your breastbone. Inhale. Exhale. Roll down a little. Roll down a little more. A little more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Work your way all the way down. 2 more. All the way down. Last one. Roll your hip bones back. Spinal imprint. Space between ribs and hips. Curl your tailbone. Curl your pelvis. Peel up lumbar vertebra. Section by section. Try to move freely without any blocks. Chest is open. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. Use the breath. Work through any blocks. Hug knees to chest. Release. All right. So that's your modification. Do 3 to 4 more like that. If you have any spinal injury, osteoporosis, degenerative disc disease, low back, you're going to continue there. We never load your spine with compression. If you have those certain circumstances, avoid this next thing. We don't do rollovers and Pilates with spinal compression. We don't do halasana, plow, and yoga. So here we go. You're going to take your legs out. You're going to stretch rib cage out of hip bones. You stretch your legs into the air. And then I'm going to do Pilates first. Ribs are away from your hips. Your abdominal wall streamlines to the length of your spine. Your chest is open. Now, there's no momentum. You have to do a Pilates pelvic tilt, spinal flexion, C curve, and you would lift up. You're going to slowly scoop in, elevate. Now, here's your rollover. Scoop your abdominal wall in. Shoulders are down and back. Chest is wide open. You take your feet hip width apart. Flex your heels. Scoop your abdominal wall so deeply into your spine, it pulls it longer. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Drag the back of your thighs, hamstrings against the sky. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Your feet are right over your face. 2 more times. You stretch your legs long, bring them together. Point your toes. Your heels flex. Your back is on the mat. You scoop in, curl, C curve. No momentum. Peel your body up. Your abdominals tight to your back. Inhale. Scoop your core tight. Flex your heels. Scoop in. Rib cage pulls down each rib, each vertebra. Roll it down, roll it down, roll it down. And last one, stretch legs away, keep back on mat, shoulders down, back, chest open, flex your feet, reach over your head, hips, legs hip width apart. Exhale, roll it down. Excellent, bring your feet together. For time constrictions, I'm not going to reverse it. I'm just going to have you hug knees to chest. Rock side to side. Excellent. If you have osteoporosis or herniated disc, here's your next modification. Chest is open, no weight in your neck. Weight across mid-back, do a really low bridge, neutral spine. You would just lift up your pelvis. Now, you would just take your leg up, lower the leg, flex, point. Flex, point. Do that 5 times one leg, and then do 5 times the other. Flex and point without letting either hip lower. Flex and point. And then you would lower your pelvis. You would do 5 and 5, neutral spine. Keep back close to mat. Make sure your hip bones are level, your glutes are in a level line. Then you know your pelvis is stable. That's your modification. Okay, so next part, I'm taking you into halasana, plow, and yoga. It's different than our rollover in Pilates. So then you stretch your arms into the mat, your chest is open. What you can do, you take your legs, there's a little bit more momentum here. You just lift up. You either take, you're not going to turn your head and neck like I just did to show you. You take your pelvis up into the air. You rest your hands behind the sacroiliac joints, the posterior part, the back of the pelvis. Maybe your feet are resting up and over. Maybe your toes touch the mat. You get a little higher diagonal. If you're not there yet, stay here and just give your pelvis a little support. Scoop your core tight. If you feel like you have support in your core, reach over and you could stay here and breathe. You could also have hands support you. Keep neck long. Avoid putting pressure in neck. You're going to be resting across the tops of your shoulders. Scoop your core tight. You can feel how your toes touch the mat. Maybe you need extra support. You have your hands under your hips. Your legs are parallel to the sky. So you're going to stay here. Now, if your feet are on the ground, you can either have your hands at the back of your pelvis. You would scoop your core super tight, and you would stretch your leg to the sky. You could have your hands on the mat, reach your leg to the sky. Either your hands are on the mat or behind the back of your pelvis. Abdominal, scoop in tight. Inhale. Exhale. Stretch leg to sky. One more each way. You inhale. You exhale. Your chest is open. And last one, breathing in. Exhale. Now, from your halasana plow, you're going to lift up your toes if they're touching. Scoop your abdominal wall in super tight. Exhale. Roll it out. Roll it out. Roll it out. Come all the way down. And then gently hug knees in. Rock side to side across your spine. All right. Good job. All right. So we're going to counter that. Instead of having our spine flexed, we're going to go into extension. So then you're going to turn onto your side. Give yourself a second. Release. Inhale, exhale. Okay, come all the way over. Now you're going to come onto your abdominal wall. Excellent. So now your knees are together. Your ankles are together. And then just come into a little, let's just do our low cobra bhujangasana, and also you can call it sphinx. So then avoid this. Notice how my shoulders hike, my neck shortens. Okay, your breastbone pulls through the arms. Your chest is open. Press into your forearms. Create some space. There's space between ribs and hips. I just did this in a video last night, but it's important to extend your spine, so I'm repeating it again. And then I'm going to lead you out of this base pose so we could do single leg kick and double leg kick out of our Pilates repertoire. So you're going to open your heart, chest is open, low back is elongated, stretch your tailbone out of your center. Stay here and breathe. I just want to create space for your back, strengthen your spine. Inhale, and then exhale. Feel your core draw into your spine. You're going to get a little stretch through those abdominals. Your hip bones are on mat. Your tailbone lengthens away from you to keep your spine protected. 2 more deep inhales. Exhale, softly release. Feel how collarbones are wide. Deep inhale. Exhale, softly release. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. Lower down. Relax your head. Forehead on back of hands. Rock side to side. Release your neck. Inhale, exhale, release gently. All right. Maybe you'll wiggle hips side to side. Release your back for a moment. All right. Okay, here comes. Prop yourself up on your forearms. We're going to do our single leg kick in Pilates. Really stretch your tailbone back away from you. You're lifting from pubic bone to navel. Your hip bones are secure on mat. Clasp your hands together. Chest is open. I want you to kick heel, toe, squeeze back of upper thigh. Look over the other shoulder. Heel and toe. And then we're going to go exhale, inhale, down, heel, toe, down, pelvis is stable, tailbone long, and exhale, inhale, down, flex, point, and down, exhale, inhale, down, flex, and point, down, squeeze back of upper thigh, lift your heart through the arms, good job, exhale, inhale, down, 4 more, exhale, inhale, look over your shoulders, side and neck is long, and exhale, point, down, flex and point, down, 3 more, exhale, inhale, down, pelvis is still, and 2, exhale, inhale, last set, exhale, inhale, and exhale, inhale, excellent, come all the way down, now wiggle hips side to side, you're going to feel your back release, so everything we do in Pilates is precise, mindful movement, precision. You have to coordinate mind-body effort. So you have to feel it, you have to think it, and then you do it. All right, take your hands. If it's too much to bend your arms behind your back, if it's too much to clasp your hands together and lift your heart and chest off the mat, modification. Take your arms by your sides. Look over your shoulder. Stretch the side of your neck. Keep shoulders out of ears. Elongate through the front of your hips and thighs. And what I want you to do, you would go exhale, kick, kick, flex your heels, drop your shoulders out of your ears, scoop your abdominal wall in, point your toes, stretch and elongate, lengthen, 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 lift, tighten into your center, come down, you're going to flex your feet. Look over the other shoulder. Your hips are stabilized. Pubic bone is on mat. Tailbone is long. And kick, kick. Inhale, come up. Turn, kick, kick. Inhale, come up. Modification. Turn, kick, kick, come up. Okay, you're not modified. Take those hands behind your back. Chest is open. Exhale, exhale. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, exhale. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, exhale. Look over the shoulder. Inhale, point your toes. Exhale, exhale. Inhale, rise up. You want to make it harder. Exhale, exhale. Lift your heart. Inhale, twice. Exhale, and lengthen. Actually, it's exhale, exhale. Got confused. Inhale, stretch your chest off the mat. Exhale, exhale. Inhale, scoop your core tight. Exhale, exhale. Inhale, 2 more. Exhale, exhale. Inhale, lift your heart. 1 more. Exhale, exhale. Double leg kick. Inhale, chest opens. Exhale, exhale. Inhale. All right, now take your hands under the shoulders. Your elbows are tight to your ribs. You're scooping your belly in. You press up, and then you're going to sit straight back, hips over heels. And just stretch your ribs apart. Tailbone reaches long behind you. Relax your forehead into the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Woo. Inhale. Ribs out of hips. Stretch apart. Sits bones behind you. Inhale. Ribs out of hips. And stretch apart. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. So we did our double leg kick. We did our single leg kick before that. We did our low cobra, our bhujangasana. We did our Pilates and our yoga extension. Otherwise, our low cobra bhujangasana was otherwise known as Sphinx. Bring your hands under the shoulders. You're going to press up to your hands and your knees. All right. And then we're just going to come up now. All right, I'm trying not to do too much kneeling. I have injuries everywhere at the moment, so I'm trying to be careful what I'm doing. So I'm hurt everywhere. So let's see, what can I do? I'm going to give you a plank, and then I'm going to give you a little kick from Pilates where you hold your plank. You have to feel your core deep into your spine, your shoulder blades anchored down the sides of your back. I don't even know, I have plantar fasciitis in the bottoms of my feet. I don't even know if I can hold my body up, curling my toes under. It's pain, intense pain. So I'm not sure. Tighten your core to your spine. Rock forward, kick the leg up, come in. Let's just do 3. I don't know if I can support my body. Kick forward, up. 2 more. Kick, flex point. Okay, I'm in a lot of pain. I can't do this. Flex point, rock forward, rock back, come back to hands and knees, go back into a rest pose. Inhale, exhale, release your low back. Inhale, exhale. I can't really support myself in plantar flexion. Okay, we're going to take our legs. Now we're going to go into our swan. Bend left knee to left thumb. Make sure your hips are squared straight in front of you. You're going to flex your feet. This right hip pulls back, the left hip pulls forward, so you could straighten out your pelvis and then maybe just come down to your forearms. You're going to feel this hip open up. Inhale, exhale. Make sure your back knee is like centered. You want your hip, the middle of the knee, to stay aligned, hip, knee, ankle. Knee points to the mat, top of foot, I should say, is pointing to the mat. Inhale and then exhale. Now feel your core tighten to your back, relax shoulders out of ears. And inhale and exhale. Breathe. Inhale, exhale. And inhale, exhale. We want our hip to open down the front. We want the side of our glute and lateral hip to stretch. Piriformis, lateral hip and glute. So we just want to get everything to release. And inhale, exhale. And inhale, exhale. Keep squaring out your pelvis. I'm losing my square. If you feel that, you have to kind of bring your hands closer together. You have to pull that straight leg hip forward. You have to pull that bent knee hip back. Kind of realign your pelvis because your body will wiggle and try to get out of a stretch and your hips will misalign. So try to realign your body if you feel that happening. We don't want to get out of the stretch. Scoop in, work on your alignment. Most important, inhale and exhale. And it's way more intense when you're properly aligned. You'll notice that right away. And inhale and exhale. Whew, I can't stay here long. It's painful to be aligned. Inhale, exhale, tailbone reaches back. 1 more time. And inhale, Exhale, keep that tailbone reaching long. Slowly you're going to extend. Feel how this opens up. Now, roll onto your left gluteal. Take your right bottom of your foot, crisscross over this front knee. We're just going to do a little seated twist. So you just crisscross the one foot over the other. Sink into your pelvis. Sometimes I do this. I reach arms to sky. I'm really hot. I'm too hot right now, so I'm not going to go much longer. It's hot in here. We're going to elevate up. We're sinking into the bottom of our hips. The bottom of our foot pushes the mat away. And then that's just about yoga. Can you meet with adversity? Can you meet yourself right where you are in the mat? You're uncomfortable, your body aches, you have a hurt knee, you have hurt plantar fasciitis, your feet hurt, your back hurts, you're out of alignment, your neck is out of alignment. But do you come down to your mat and do you meet yourself right there on the mat, or do you make excuses and say, oh, I don't feel like working out today? So ask yourself those questions. You might not want to work out every single day, but just because things are adverse, maybe you should still work and not give up. So that's the lesson for today. Keep pushing yourself. Maybe you know your limit. When you need to rest, you rest. You take a day off. You go to sleep early. You relax. You watch Netflix. Know your limits. Twist, lift heart to sky. Inhale. And now you're going to exhale. Open your heart, stretch. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. I'm going to hurt anyway. My feet are going to hurt. My knee is going to ache. My back is going to ache. So whether I work out or I go to bed, I'm still going to ache. So I look at it as maintenance. I mean, you could look at it any way you want. Sometimes we need to go to bed. Sometimes we need maintenance. It's up to you. You have to know that fine line. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Breathe in and breathe out. Come back center. Shake out your legs to the middle. Release your spine. Release your back. Release your knees. Release your hamstrings. All right. Now, let's begin again. We're going to do a slight little reversal. Press into your heels. Lift up your heart. Stay here and breathe. I'm not going to do anything fancy. Just stay here and breathe. Open your heart. Lift up your hips. Square your shoulders over your hip bones. Your abdominals tighten in. Your tailbone lengthens. Inhale, exhale. One more deep inhale. Exhale, come into the mat. All right. Fold your knees in. Elevate. Stay here for a second. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Get those heels into the floor. Now slowly, you're going to come onto hands and knees. Now, go into a plank. Scoop your abdominal wall in. I'm not going to stay here long as my feet kill me when I do it. I can't even do it. I can't push on the other side. All right. Walk your right knee to your right thumb. Your hips are squared. Your right hip drops back. Your left hip rotates forward. You're going to take the top of that foot down against the mat. Make sure your knee's right down the middle of your mat. You're going to lift your heart. You're going to stretch up and elongate. Your chest is open and your hip hinging. Make sure your hips are secure. They're straight. You don't twist or rotate your pelvis because you'll do yourself an injustice if that happens. Try to flex your foot to give your hip a little more support. Stay here and breathe. And inhale. And then exhale. And inhale. And then exhale. Head away from tailbone. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep your spine aligned. If you don't feel aligned, you'd have to bring your hands more narrow. You'd pull your bent knee side hip back. You'd take the straight leg hip forward. You'd realign one more time and come on down. Stay here and breathe. Tailbone stretches away from you. And inhale, exhale. And inhale, exhale. We want that right lateral hip and glute to open up and release. Feel how your tailbone stretches away from you. Tailbone's long. Inhale and exhale. Stretch and reach. Inhale and exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. pull your heart forward through the two arms. Stretch your spine long. Inhale. And then exhale. Awesome. One more deep inhale here. Exhale. Softly release. Slowly push up into your palms. Hands come together. We're going to lean into our right gluteal. And then you're going to swing your leg around. And then once you swing your leg around, you're going to place your left foot flat against the mat. You're going to flex both feet to protect hips, protect your knee joints. Now, you sink into your pelvis. You scoop your core tight to your back. You're going to rise up. You're going to reach towards that inner thigh and that knee. You're going to lift your heart, and you're just going to rotate, twist the other direction. Lift your heart to the sky, doing a slight little spinal twist. Elevate your heart. If you have osteoporosis, limit how far you twist. Sink into your sits bones. Do a tiny little rotation of your mid-back thoracic spine without overdoing it. Inhale. Exhale. Equal balance on each of your sits bones. You breathe in, and then you breathe out. You inhale, chest is open. You exhale, collarbones are wide. So you're just protecting your spine, protecting the integrity of the hips, the pelvis. Your body's in alignment. You inhale, and then you exhale. Two more deep inhales. Lift heart to sky. Stretch that spine tall. Exhale, release. One more time. You're going to take a deep inhale and gently exhale, release. Excellent. Slowly, you're going to release your leg. Bend your knees, take your hands a little bit wider than shoulder width. Now do your little windshield wiper and softly release the sides of those hips and thighs. Roll across those hips. Excellent. And inhale, exhale, 4 and 3. Go right into that hip crease. 2 more. And inhale, exhale, last one. Awesome. Now, after doing a little spinal twist, after stretching out lateral hips and glutes, it feels really good to get your inner thigh, your hips to open. So let's do a little straddle pose. So we're just going to shake out our knees for a second, kind of soften. Very important, your kneecaps face the sky. Avoid rotating in and letting your knees sink in. Avoid letting your toes rotate in. We want to make sure we don't injure our hip joint. Our thigh bones need to be twisting outward. Our knees need to be facing up. And then we stretch through the bottoms of our feet. So we're just going to elevate. Now maybe take equal weight across each half of your pelvis. Avoid leaning like that without realizing what you're doing. You don't want to sink, and sometimes we don't even know it, but we produce like functional scoliosis because we slink to the side. We're on our computer, maybe we're doing this all day long, and we pull our body out of alignment. So your shoulders need to be over the hips. Scoop in, elevate, and then you're going to slowly come forward. And maybe you'll just rest your forearms on the mat. Stay here and breathe. We're almost done. Stay here and breathe. Head away from tailbone. Really stretch up, 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 up before you go over. Relax shoulders out of ears. This is pretty hard for most people, so once you do it, it's kind of invigorating. It feels really good to release the inner thighs. You have 3 hamstring muscles, semitendinosus, semimembranosus, biceps femoris, and it kind of feels like you roll across the backs of those thighs as you pull your heart forward, so it's kind of nice in that respect. Stay here and breathe. Shoulders down, away from ears, sides and neck stay long, breastbone long. Stay here, breathe. If you feel comfortable, you can put a yoga block under your forehead. You could even stretch your arms further forward. Avoid rounding your back. Hip hinge. Modify how far forward you go. If you have osteoporosis, it's going to be a tiny, maybe if you have osteoporosis, you would bring your breastbone up, sink your sits bones behind you, and maybe you would stay up here. You wouldn't go any further than this, and you're okay because you're still stretching your ribs, your hips apart, you're lengthening your spine, you're not rounding your low back. So to be safe, if you have osteoporosis, hang out here and breathe and just enjoy the hips loosening up. Avoid going any further than that. Just listen to your body. Inhale, exhale, relax the neck, relax the head, the shoulders, relax away from your ears. Maybe take your forehead to your mat. Chill. Neck is long. Reach your breastbone so you don't hunch around your middle back. You don't want to hunch around or make a hump in our back. It's very important that you avoid that. Breathe. Inhale, exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. Stretch your breastbone long. Pull those shoulder blades down the sides of your back. Inhale, exhale. Feel the energy from your center radiate outward through the legs, through the bottoms of your feet. Scoop your core in. Feel energy circulate up the spine and down the spine. Inhale. Exhale, sink your sits bones behind you into the mat. Feel your low back pull apart. Last deep inhale, mid back, low back. Exhale, release. Slowly walk your hands in. Woo! Shake out your knees for a second. Squeeze those thighs together. All right. Okay, we're going to do a little straddle. We just finished our straddle pose, I should say. Here is your butterfly. Your feet come together, and then your knees like hang out to the sides, maybe butterfly up and down. Okay, release. Now, again, lift up your heart, sink into the bottom of your pelvis. Make sure your neck feels free, front ribs meet back ribs, elevate, lengthen up. We're not forcing, we're not pushing our knees down, we're just allowing our knees to be suspended in space. And as you allow the knees to be supported, suspended in space, you'll feel your hip socket release a little bit more, and you'll feel those knees fall outward. I usually start with my knees like this at the beginning of a workout, and by the end they fall down without me forcing it. You can have that too. Just breathe. Let that time and the work do the part. You don't have to force, it just happens. Inhale, exhale. And inhale, exhale. Head away from tailbone. Now, if you're a runner like me, you'll notice if you're in butterfly, you'll notice that it's really difficult to lift, lengthen, and hinge forward at the hip. You'll notice like, holy moly, how come I can't go further? If you're super mobile and flexible, you might just hip hinge, you might be flat out on your breastbone, you might be flat down on the ground. And I love that. That's wonderful. If you can do it, do so without forcing it. But if you're not there, what you can do, okay, take your feet further away from your groin, walk it out a bit. So now, energetically, you just moved the ankle joints, you move the knee joints out of your hip sockets away from your groin. Now slowly just start to like rotate your feet to the sky. We're going to do something called diamond stretch. So make sure your feet are centered. And then you could either rotate, take your thumbs, grab a hold of your toes, and make a little section there for you to hold on to. Or you could just interlace your fingertips like that. And then you would open your heart, you would lift up. And then I'm still not going to go all the way down, but I promise I could go further. And it's not about how far you could go, it's just how can you move your body and adjust your joint angles. And this is going to free your hips a little bit more. I'm not rounding my back. I can just come down. I can crisscross. I can get a little more space in there and come forward. And you can too. We're elevating, we're lengthening, coming forward into our diamond stretch. Stay here and breathe. I can't quite get there, so I'm not going to use my forehead as a pillow. You could, if you stack your palms, make a fist, stack one hand over the other. There's my little pillow right there. Feel the low back open up. Sink into your sits bones. And just feel the back of the pelvis pull backwards as your thigh bones externally rotate deeper into your hip joints. And then you'll feel your hips open a little bit. You're down on your sits bones. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Soften through the center part of your breastbone. Inhale, exhale. Sink into the back of those sits bones. Inhale, exhale. One more deep inhale. And slowly you're going to rise up. If this feels good to you, you could stay here longer on your own if you like. Shake out your knees. Slowly you're going to bring your knees together. I had a super long day, so I'm not going to stay longer. I'm going to close it out. You could stay in any pose you want. Work on anything you want to do. One last time, let's do our little hip opener. Roll across sides of hips. Feel the crease in your hips. Inhale, exhale. And you're going to feel a nice little release right there in that crease. It feels really good, actually. Chest is open, collarbones wide. Come back to the center. All right, let's crisscross. You know what? I challenge you. If you always crisscross a certain way, I always do my right foot over my left. So I caught myself. Do the other two sides. See what happens if you crisscross the opposite way. Sink into your pelvis. Actually, I'm more open when I do it the opposite way of what I thought I would be doing. Okay, take hands to heart. Reach to top of head. Bring your palm to the floor. Bring your forearm to the floor. And then now just open up your side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Ooh, it's hot. It's super hot in here. It's closed all day. I don't have enough openness in here. Inhale, exhale. Now I want you to go like this. Turn from mid-breastbone. Rotate around your breastbone. That's your central axis point. Sink both sits bones into your mat. Your pelvis stays put. It stays down. 3 more. Inhale, exhale. A little bit of rotation through that thoracic spine. Inhale, exhale. And one more time. And then you're just going to take that arm, elevate up. Inhale, hands come together. Lift back up. Okay, take this hand down. Now take this hand behind. Oh my goodness. Now, you would stop yourself. If you start to go like that, your whole hip lifts up. You're not doing yourself any favors to allow that to happen. Stick it wherever you can keep your hip down. You lift. Maybe you would just take your elbow to your knee. Modify. Your elbow's on your knee. You're modifying. You have osteoporosis. You can't go all the way down, elbow to knee. Open up the side of your rib and your hip. And then you keep that hip down. You elevate, you elevate, you elevate. Your hip stays down. That's where the work happens. The sits bones are on the mat. Your pelvis is touching. And then you're going to go inhale, modification. You can go as far. Avoid any force. Exhale. Inhale, your ribs expand. You open everything up. You exhale. Feel the side of your waist. Really stretch apart. Inhale, open your heart. Thoracic spine mobility. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, chest expands. Open. Exhale. You're going to extend that arm. Lift all the way up. Bring hands overhead. Bring hands to heart, open shoulders, open chest, relax your shoulders away from ears. Hands come down by sides. All right. And with that, we are going to close out this practice with a little head roll, a little neck roll. I'm losing my voice. I need to drink and I need to decompress. So I'm going to leave you in a second. When you do anything with your neck, move in a tiny increment. You don't want to overdo the neck. Stretch, chin to chest. Now you're just trying to get the side of the neck to release. Stretch, chin to chest. And inhale. Exhale, 2 more. And inhale. And exhale, sides of neck release. 1 more time. Inhale, exhale. Okay, and here's one more thing you can do. This hurts me right now. I'm super tense in my shoulders and my neck. It's actually hurting to actually try to release and stretch. So if that happens to you because you sit every day behind your computer, then you're going to need a little more work. Then what you would do, lie on the ground, make 90-degree angles, open your heart. If you have a foam roller, it's better if you lift yourself up and let your arms open more, and that's going to open your chest more. But it's very important that you reopen your shoulders and your chest. Like if everything's achy and hurting, you have to open up the collarbones, be on a foam roller, maybe you're up a little bit, and just let those elbows sink into the floor, 90-degree angles by your sides. And then you would end your day just opening your collarbones wide. Maybe your arms would stretch out and just let gravity push on the front of your shoulders so the sides of your neck can lengthen. If we allow our shoulders to hike and hunch, if we allow our shoulders to internally rotate, and if we allow everything to shorten, tighten, guess what? Your neck is going to shorten and tighten, and guess what? You get wrinkles on the front of your neck. So if you start to feel like the neck is wrinkling because the skin is pulling together, you're not opening, you're not releasing your muscles enough. And without having to do all the skincare stuff, if you just release your muscles and the bones, the way they pull on the joints, the skin is affected differently. When your muscles are not so tight and clenched together, guess what? Your skin isn't going to go like close down on itself. Your skin expands, it's held, it's open, and you'll have less wrinkles. So really open your shoulders, your chest, and your day that way. Breathing in, breathing out. Open your shoulders and your chest. Breathing in, breathing out. Relax. Now, as long as you're okay, your neck doesn't hurt, tilt one ear towards shoulder. Your gravity's going to stretch. Get the side of your neck to lengthen. Gravity's going to stretch the side of your neck. Avoid going too far. Stay here and breathe. Come back to the center. Allow shoulders to stay down back. Let gravity stretch you. Go really slow. Only where you can go to where it doesn't bother you. Little slight stretch. Stay there and breathe. And it's okay. One side might be tighter. That's fine. Avoid forcing anything. Stay here and breathe. All right, slowly return center. We're going to take a turn. Inhale, exhale, relax shoulders, relax neck. And now we're just going to slowly push to a seated position. All right, now we're ready to end. You should feel a little bit more of a release through your shoulders and your neck now. And it won't feel like so tight and bunched up. Hands to heart. I thank you for joining me. And just feel centered and relaxed. All right, I hope you enjoy the rest of your morning, day, or evening. Whenever this catches you, have a great evening. Hope you sleep well, and I'll see you again soon. All right, bye everybody. Thanks for supporting my channel. I appreciate you. Bye.